Well, workplaces can be, let's just say, an interesting place. Lots of different personalities, different moods and characters. You know what I'm talking about. And because of this, many of us hold back from saying things that may need to be said to a colleague or even to our bosses because, quite frankly, we fear the response. But you can have courageous conversations in the workplace. And here to show us how are William and Carolyn Hines. They are the authors of the book, What to Say and How to Say It. And they join us this morning as part of our book series. Good morning to you both.
Good morning. Good morning.
You know what? It's so interesting to me because we've got, the smartphones, and we've got computers and iPads and all of these things. And people are having conversations this way, but not having face-to-face conversations. Why is it that we can tweet what we want to say, but we can't say what we want to say face-to-face?
Well, one of the reasons I think is that oftentimes people are a lot more comfortable when they're not looking at the person.
That's true.
And they just don't feel that necessarily they have the right skills or know the right thing to say at the right time. So what happens? Communication breaks down and we don't have effective communication.
And a breakdown in communication really is a negative thing, isn't it, Carolyn?
Absolutely, absolutely. But we want people to understand that just because you've had a breakdown doesn't mean that you can't start over as well. And in our book on 72 Courageous Conversations, we actually show people based on good research and good experiences just how to do that. It involves emotional intelligence and just how to move forward with what you want to say.
You know what, I told you I read the book from start to finish, and I have to tell you I was so struck by something on page 10, and I want to read it to you. It said, how do we normally deal with confrontation? Could it be through one of these avoidance techniques, talking about or complaining about the person to other people, dropping hints, deliberate nonverbals like rolling your eyes or sighing or hand gestures, or praying for a miracle that the person leaves, gets sick, or dies? That's pretty serious. I mean, if you're hoping somebody dies rather than have a conversation with them, we need your help.
That's right.
That's very serious, very serious. And you know, it's interesting you pointed out about the rolling eyes and the body language.
Yeah.
And what happens is, when that happens, the other person then interprets the body language, and rarely, if ever, do they interpret it to your betterment. They interpret it to the negative.
Because the body language may not even be what you're meaning to convey.
Exactly.
But because you're not saying it, they're just taking your nonverbal hint.
Exactly, exactly. Sometimes they try to read your mind, and then they'll get upset if they don't read it right. So again, the conversations are designed to just help people navigate courageous conversations.
Well, speaking of that, you talk about 72 courageous conversations for the workplace. Let's get right into this. If our viewers out there are struggling with this, what would you all say are probably the top 2 or 3 things they should take away from this?
I would say one for sure is understanding that there's no statute of limitations on visiting or revisiting an issue.
Even if it's like 10 years ago?
Even if it was 10 years ago, 15 years ago, last week, or yesterday. You can just simply say, now that I've had a chance to think about it, I'd really like to revisit that conversation. Also, understanding the power of forgiveness. The definition of forgiveness is to give up hope for a better past. But forgiveness is a very powerful application, and it also is a decision that you make. So the power of just using the word, please forgive me, and I'd like a fresh start. That's a very powerful skill.
You know, and I also think when you say that, when you say please forgive me, or even when you say something like, you know what, I'm kind of nervous about having this conversation with you, you put the other person at ease.
You certainly
and I think
do.
It opens the door to having a better conversation, wouldn't you say, William?
Absolutely right, and that's one of the skills that we talk about in the straight talk we refer to often. If I'm nervous about something I want to say to you, I say I need to talk to you about this, but I'm a little bit nervous about it, and then I go right into what it is I wanted to talk about.
You know, one of the other things very quickly you see in the book is you say we grew into the people we are through our relationships with others, and we can grow into who we can become through our attention to our relationship with others. Explain this.
That's exactly right. Everything that we do is relational. It involves other people. And other people sometimes are pretty predictable as well. And so no matter where we are today, we can also look at being hopeful about relationships as well, because that's really how we grow.
Well, can we have courageous conversations with our kids about cleaning up their rooms?
Absolutely.
That's right.
And
Yes.
we have used the conversations.
Might have to use that one tonight.
Exactly. Yes.
Well, William and Carolyn Hines, thank you so much for being here with us this
Thank
morning.
you.
Thank you so much.
Again, the book is called What to Say and How to Say It. If you would like more information about their book, please visit their website at CW Hines Associates.org.